So 2 years ago, my husband and I bought a farmhouse in Vermont, and this house is really old. It was built in 1840. And so my main concern, I mean, it's been standing for 180 years. I do not want to mess this up, but the house has some problems. I've spent $800 in a month on heating oil for this 2,000 square foot house. And I invited a Vermont sanctioned energy auditor into my house to tell me what to do. He said, okay, you're just gonna spray foam insulate your ceilings and your knee wall attics. Isn't spray foam like a fossil fuel plastic thing? I've read about it. They have to wear full PPE when they spray it and respirators and everything because it off gases all this crazy stuff. You can't be telling me to put that in the walls of this beautiful old timber house. And he was like, no, there's never been any problems. If they were, we would hear about them. Plot twist, there have been problems. I know a local contractor that's super reputable. I'll link you up. Okay, fine, convinced, I guess. I was telling my other main contractor about these plans, and he was like, oh, I'm suing that spray foam installer because he had gotten it installed in the second story of his home when he was renovating it 10 years ago. Now the whole second half of his house was completely dry rotted out. So glad I happened to have you as my contractor to tell me not to do this. And it sent me down this whole rabbit hole, and I ended up writing this story about it for Vermont Digger, which is this investigative news outlet in Vermont. What I found was crazy. Spray foam can be super, super insulating and safe for people on homes if it is applied perfectly. That's hard to do in real life. Young, maybe high school educated contractor who might not speak English very well is going to be doing on-site chemistry and combining chemicals from two different canisters. We don't actually know what's in them because it's trade secret. The second thing is that spray foam contractors in the US are completely unregulated at the federal or state level. Like, your nail technician and your hairstylist has to go through more of a certification and regulation program than these people who are spraying chemicals into your home. So two bad things can happen. First, that chemistry can be done badly, and then the house never stops off gassing. So the house smells really bad. It doesn't matter if you ventilate it, it doesn't matter if you put in like a crazy air purifier, it's going to be off gassing these toxic chemicals, and it's going to be hazardous for your family forever. The second bad thing that can happen is that 10 years down the road, because of these moisture issues it's caused, because it's like wrapping your house in a plastic bag, these moisture issues can lead to mold, dry rot, and then you've like totaled this house. The thing about spray foam, it's not like batting where like you're like, oh, I don't like that, and you just like go in and take it out. It soaks into everything and it sticks to everything, and the only way to get it out is to tear out all your walls or like tear off the roof of your house, scrape it down, and then hire a dry ice blasting contractor to come in and blast it out, and then encapsulating it with behind foil because it's still in there to keep it from off-gassing into your home. And so this can run into tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, some people have been told they should just tear down their whole house and start over. Because of all this, building science experts say that you should only use spray foam in your basement below grade where things are a little bit wet, but even then it's like a little bit risky. I talked to a woman nearby in Brattleboro, and she had her basement spray foamed, and now she's like running like 2 industrial dehumidifiers. It smells like mold down there. She's just really upset about it. If this happens to you, if your spray foam job doesn't go well, you have no recourse except to get a lawyer. And the people I've talked to who actually gotten settlements, the settlements aren't enough to make them whole. By the way, this is already playing out in the UK, where people who've accepted government money in order to spray foam their houses can't sell their house now because mortgage companies won't lend for houses with spray foam. And here's the thing, chemical companies like DuPont and Huntsman are pitching spray foam as a climate-friendly solution because it saves you on your heating bill, so you're using less oil. But one analysis from Efficiency Vermont showed that it would take 10 years for the saved oil emissions to equal out the embodied emissions of creating spray foam because it is a petrochemical. So despite all of this, spray foam and insulation contractors pitch spray foam as easy and the best way to insulate your house and the most insulating and safe and quick and affordable and eco-friendly and all these things. And they do not have to disclose any of these risks to homeowners. So they can just lie to your face and be like, there's never been any problems. So ever since this story went live, I've talked to a bunch of people who've had their homes and their lives destroyed by spray foam. I talked to a father on Long Island who got money from a local utility to get a free spray foam job, and it ruined his roof. And so he had to take out a personal loan to get it all taken out of his roof again. I talked to a consultant in Arizona whose home survived a fire, but then he had it tested and he was told that he had to completely move out because it was like weeping carcinogens out of the walls. And so now he's going to have, after fighting with the insurance company, he's finally gotten permission to just tear down the house and start again. There was a new mom in Florida who for 2 years was like randomly vomiting and getting these migraines because they moved into a brand new spray foam home. It only got better when they moved out. I talked to a mom in upstate New York who has a special needs kid, and she got her home spray foamed, and when they moved in, she started vomiting and her kid got sick too. And there's this disabled couple in Illinois who got their home spray foamed, and now it's off gassing, and they've been told their only recourse is to completely tear down their house and start over. So thank God I did not take the advice of that energy auditor and get my home spray foamed. I got a building science consultant to come in and do a better job of telling me what to do. He said, okay, before you insulate anything, you have to fix your moisture issues in your basement and crawl space. It's gross down there. And then after you do that, here's a plan. So basically, as we renovate the house, we're going to insulate it with mineral wool insulation, which is a natural fluffy insulation made from rock or iron slag. There's a lot of reasons to go with it, but I'm really happy with that decision. And hopefully this house will continue for another 50 years and I won't be paying so much in oil bills. Because of all this, I ended up doing a really detailed guide to the safest and most non-toxic types of home insulation. It's the guide I wish I had at the beginning of this whole process, and I hope you find it useful too. You can access the guide for about $5 with our monthly health membership. And look, I hope if you're spending thousands of dollars on your home, you'll see the value in paying $5 so you can have a competent conversation with your contractor about all of your options.